Yes, welcome to everybody from around the world.
Morning, everyone. Welcome.
Change.
This is a recap for the day from the 5 days of fantasy profit we had last week. Went very well. I hope some guys took some trades from last week as well. Saw some great gains happening in the last week, and for today I want to take you through it. It's a recap. May share one more chart with everyone, a project that I'm very excited about. So if we can maybe just jump in, I want to show you everyone just on Bitcoin Trend and Forecast website. So for anyone that's new, we had lots of subscribers the last few weeks joining, and welcome to everyone. They would have been on our weekly webinar on Wednesday. And when you get to BitcoinTAF.com and you want to go to small cap big gains to get a product, you go to products on the side in the middle, it will load up. And for the time being, we're still running a very nice promotion. So you click on view on small cap big gains. And the lovely thing about small cap big gains is we do trade setups from a 7-day period up to about 30 days, and it can roll over to about 60 days as well. But in that duration, we want to see what coins will outperform the market in that duration, and see if we can get in the coin, make the profits, and rotate into another coin that hasn't really moved as yet. And we're going to go through a few of them today that has hit significant targets. So for the 6 month, $320, we've got a promotion running there. If you click buy now, you will see this will pop up on your dashboard. You can just type in fantasy, you apply, and there's your discount code applied. And that is exactly the same for the 12-month as well. So yeah, you can just type in fantasy there as well on the 12-month subscription. Also, Marius, I had a look just before the call if our combo is still there. You haven't deactivated it yet. So the last opportunity I'm going to use, but it's not at the top anymore. So you have to go and find it. You have to go find it. It's called Fantasy 12 and Fantasy 6 combo. For the 12-month combo, it's $601 for small cap big gains, and you only pay $200 to get Marius's long-term trade report. So that's actually the perfect combination, having the longer term setup with some shorter to medium term trading as well with small cap big gains. So make use of those two combos. There's no fantasy code applied to those. So it's purely on, it's already discounted with a massive value in there. Fantasy 6 is $320 for small cap big gains, only $100 extra for 6 months worth of long-term trade reports. And Marius does them also on a weekly basis, and I'm always surprised, and it's always something fascinating how that algorithm, the algorithm on the longer term basis works. So Marius, I wonder if I can quickly send it back to you if you want to show possible new members on the call today, just a brief snippet of what we can expect for Bitcoin perhaps in the next month.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the thing here is most people are concerned, what is Bitcoin going to do? And we are going to show you here today, just for the sake that you have attended the call here, we want to give you some extra data here. And the long end story short of Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is heading up to 47,000. That is that point E. Now, unfortunately, I can't show it all because we have got members that pay for this data. But if I bring up the report here quickly, this is the latest or one of the reports. There's a later report out. This was the report of 16 March. Now, unfortunately, what I've done, I've just blocked out this blue sections here because, this unfortunately for paid subscribers, but we're going to give you an idea anyway, guys, for the short term, what you can expect. So if you look at this model here, now, remember, we have predicted with very accurate consistency what the market will do in the next 18 months. 18 months ago, we said that we're going to get into a high point in May, June last year. And then we said the market will go down for 9 months. And then on the bottom, we're going to stay there for 9 weeks, 10, 12 weeks. And that has now happened, guys. This point A is the change of the direction on 24 February, I believe. Now the market is going to go upwards here. Now you can see here on the bottom is the blue algorithm line. This is the algorithm line that I developed myself years ago in 2016-17. It comes out of data from oil and gas data that I accumulated over the last 20, 30 years, data that goes back over 120, 130 years. Long story short, if you look at how people drill in drilling and completions when they drill for oil and gas, the work is almost more or less the same. So what I realized is that over the last 130 years is that there were certain fatalities, near misses, and incidents. When I went and plotted them on a model, I realized that there's a certain pattern that these things follow. Let's say like every 6 months, there would be a certain event. Every 9 months, a certain event. Every year, event. Every 7 months, that kind of thing. You see what I mean? And it's all got to do with human behavior. If you think for a second now, if you're listening to this call and to this video, if you want to know where you will be in 5 years from now, just listen to what you say to yourself. You will know exactly where you will be. If you constantly tell yourself that I cannot make profit, whenever I buy, something goes bad, whenever I buy, the market drops, I cannot get out of debt, guys, in 5 years from now, I'll come and visit you and you'll still be in debt. But if you change your mindset and you say, I'm successful, I wake up in the morning, I can do this, I see the money coming in, I see I'm making the right trades, it takes a bit of time. You've changed your behavior, your thought process, and things magically just start working out. The same in drilling and completions. People do the same work over and over. The human behavior hasn't changed. And then that gives you the data of where there's going to be fatalities, near misses, and incidents. If we take the same model and we apply it to Bitcoin, it kicks us out a model where it says where Bitcoin is going to drop. It shows us where Bitcoin is going to drop again. It's just really phenomenal, that this is literally, it's a human behavior model. That's really what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
So if you look at this now, I'm going to show you now real life, how this played out. Now, this one here, point number 2, if you go back in our charts that we did almost about 18 months ago, this one here, number 2, played out. Then we said what we're going to do is we're going to come all the way down here into point A. Point A is that point there, point A. Let me just move it on a little bit. Then we said we're going to go upwards here. See that upwards spike here, upwards spike. And then it's going to do a little bit of a loop and come down into B. B will be a little bit higher than A. You can see here, B, a little bit higher than A. Then we said we're going to go to C, the same level as that. You look at that level there, see that level there? Same level here, C, at that point. That's how I quantified and said that will be 45 and we won't go higher than 45 to the dollar. Then we said at that point C, it's going to come down, do a funny move into point D. Point D came to that point. It should have gone a little bit lower. It didn't really go that lower. But guys, if you really try to micromanage if it's going to hit $1, $10, whatever, you can sometimes be correct. It should have gone lower, but it shows you the strength of the market. Now what is happening is that we are now heading into point E. Point E is going to be $47,000. Bitcoin doesn't stop there, it goes higher. You can always get this data if you buy that combo that Ines just showed you now. You get small cap gains, plus you get the long-term trade reports. And it's a ridiculous price, guys. $200 gives you a 1-year subscription. You will never find it for that because it's not that cheap, this data, Wall Street has been on my neck here. Multiple companies that want this data. We've decided, no, we're not giving it to big companies. We're giving it to the little guy, you and me. And I'll forever do that. I grew up in South Africa in an orphanage. I know how difficult it is to make money. And now I find it easy because my mindset has changed. And I know how difficult it is for people to work and make money. And, we've been offered a lot of things. I don't go that way. Our way here at BitcoinTAF, the culture of our company is to help other people, pay it forward, help other people. Now, and this is why you get this free data as well. We can't give everything for free. We try and give it for free. And guys, may I just say, if you are constantly listening to mainstream media, I don't want to mention the companies' names, but these big companies, you're going to make a big mistake. Cut them off, don't listen to them. If you constantly go on YouTube and you watch these videos of YouTube just to get a trade or to get something, you're going to make big mistakes. I have seen many of those videos. These guys many of them, they don't know what they do. And if you have to filter through that, then you're not going to know if it's true, if this coin's going to break out. Like, all these coins that people are talking about, XRP is going to move to $10, $20, $30. How many people have bought XRP? We have told our members for the last year and a half, don't get into XRP, use your money somewhere else, and those people have made money. For example, into the coins that Ines has here at Small Cap Big Gains. These coins are going to skyrocket. And this is why we give you this data now. If Bitcoin now is going to go up to $47,000, imagine what's going to happen in the Small Cap Big Gains coins, the coins that Ines has. They're going to go up 20%, 30, 40, 50, even 100%.
Absolutely.
So guys, this data, you can rely on that. And then over to you. Thank you, Ines.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Marius. That's excellent. And we can see actually a week ago, we were just below that breakout in Bitcoin. And how that algorithm is playing out to the T. We're just slowly grinding up to the upside, and we will get to those targets. So that's actually absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Ines, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have a vertical breakout here. Let's say vertical break that maybe even takes us here to 50. But remember, then it's going to come back. It's going to come back, and then we lunge upwards again. I don't want to give too much data away, but you're in good hands with Ines anyway. Ines has got real great data in the reports. Over to you, Ines.
Thanks, Marius. Okay, so on ARs, we're going to briefly recap on all the coins, because I do think there's 5 coins that already had a beautiful run where you could have made substantial money. If you only put $1,000 in some of these selective coins last week, you could have paid for your year membership already. So that's how quick some gains can happen in this market. So if you look at ARs, it's still into this pattern. We're coming, we haven't broken to the downside, it's into the support, and we're just going to work our way to the upside. And that can play out till the end of the month. I do have a thesis that April is going to be a bullish month for us. We're going into a period of 30, 40 days of upside, and everything is really looking good. And this is the game what you have to start playing. The coins that's already spiked, which you're going to show today, you take some of your profits and you start putting into coins that hasn't really run as yet. So AOS for me is still a perfect trade to keep into your positions. Once we get above this key level, which we had here before, the 28 cents, we can have the trades to the upside. And you can see if you had these buy zones in this region and we get to T4, that's a 200% trade. And that can happen really quickly. We've seen some of the coins which will go through. All of a sudden, you get into the perfect positions, but overnight, volume will just come in, and you cannot really time it. You need to be in these coins. You need to dollar cost average and be ready in the positions just beforehand so that you can benefit for these trades. Same exactly with GRT. We're breaking the downwards parallel channel as well. We're finding beautiful support, and it's hovering just below this T1 target of 46 cents. So once we can clear the way out of this, and it can even consolidate a little bit more, but once we get up into this T1 or the 46 cents, and then we can work the way to the upside. And there at the top, probably the majority, as we said, get out of the profits at this line here at 86 cents, which will be a very great exit strategy to take profits off the table. And then we're going to look for the next coin. So that is actually looking beautiful. Rev, same story. It's just hovering below this T1, giving opportunity for the blast off that is to come. If you look on a daily time frame, we are really only starting breaking this downwards momentum into a symmetrical triangle that we see. We came into the pinch, now we're at the breakout, and it's part of a much bigger parallel channel with the upper resistance and the lower supports. So it's in the middle of this range. You can see that blue line there. It's also massive resistance. So once we can just close above that, that's going to be significant, especially on a daily time frame, to have that quick spike. And that's where we want to benefit. We want to benefit into this range because there will be at this resistance on a daily time frame. There's going to be resistance coming in as well with a little bit of a spike through, but then consolidate again. And then we're going to have a look to maybe see if it's going to be a cup and handle formation that's going to play out here. But we need time, and that's a beautiful thing in small cap big gains. We played with a little bit of time on our side, and to see that we can get the maximum out of these coins as well. Same for Chili's. Chili's, that's the key break, the 23 cents level. We haven't broken up above that to make this head and shoulders pattern really to benefit out of that. That's what we're really waiting for. So for now, it's still into this hovering range sideways, and we just need to break above this 23 cents level, and that will actually really kickstart this coin to be going to the upside. Then for Sand is literally on this parallel channel. The $3.45 is the resistance. We can see it's coming into the first target of about, say, 7-8%, maybe slightly higher, where it wicked into that parallel channel to approximately 12%. But the bigger gains will come once we break this parallel channel, turn this whole region into support, and move the way to the upside. If you took positions in this region, you're already into profits. You can lock in your profits at the break even, for example, and just let the coin ride to the upside. Put in some sell orders, 30%, 20%, and your last batch to sell at the 54% at $4.80, and that's it. Then we swap over to the next coin, or you become a member of Small Caps. We show you many more options. I think we flooded the channel this week, so the members has got so many options to choose from. It's actually going fantastic. This is the time to really make use of the bullish momentum we're going to see. Then for BAT is still really ranging in this just above the T2 target. Then we've got a higher target just above $1. It is really just finding into this cluster. You can see there was a lot of trading into this range. So we're just getting above this. Once we break a proper high and close above this dollar of 86 cents into this region here, we can move our way to the third target of 96 cents. And it's beautiful that we are still tracking on a shorter term time frame into this range of the supporting trend. So the trend is turning, everything's turning around to the upside. And let's just quickly have a look at the Ichimoku. So it's out, broke through the price, but now it's coming into the price, which may have some more sideways consolidation before it can really move to the upside further. But everything is still looking good for BAT. And once we get this break to 47, everything depends on Bitcoin, that 47, 46 level range. These coins will really shoot up very fast. So exciting. Still have my BAT positions. But now we're getting into some of the fun coins. Last week we were here in Smooth Love Potion. We had the perfect buy opportunities, and it just had a steady grind to the upside. And all of a sudden we had a spike close to reaching that T4, a 45% gain. So now we're finding support around the 20 cents. Every move, all the moving averages are turning to the upside. We will find support in this region. So dollar cost average to the upside as well, with a 93% gain. And once this bigger parallel channel breaks, that's really only the start of the coin to move higher. So you can see once it listed, it really came down into a downwards channel since last year, July. But we can see the Elliott wave formation of making 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a possible 5. And this can continue. It can be part of a bigger range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as well. So with minor corrections in between. So in combination with Marius's long-term reports, with small caps, you will be in perfect hands knowing where's the cycle, where's the time to take money off the table, and which smaller cap coins and larger caps you can benefit in both of these two products. Then Axie Infinity, we said these two are going to move hand in hand, because Smooth Love Potions are those items that you can sell into Axie Infinity as well. So Axie has really been taking off. It's up 40. We were also in this region a week ago, and you can see that massive volume coming in. So just preparing yourself beforehand, having your buys in order, and now you're up 46%, and it's actually not stopping. So do expect Smooth Love Potion to follow suit quite soon. And now it's coming above this T3, and it's on its way to the $83 level. We're sort of getting to overbought levels, but on a daily time frame, it's still beautiful, looking to the upside as well. Not really getting on a daily time frame bullish or bearish divergences, but on a smaller time frame, it can possibly wick up a little bit more. But do expect this coin to just maybe also trade sideways for a range, because it had a very quick spike to the upside of a 46%. Then Haven Protocol, well, that was beautiful. Since the breakout, it went up 121%. We came down into this falling wedge, and since the falling wedge is also up 71% up to that week high, and now it's also consolidating right below. You can see how technical these targets are, where it actually every time finds support and it gets resistance. Then the next time it will find support above $4.45 and then move to the next target. So there's still a lot to be made out of Haven Protocol. We can just quickly have a look. Just remove this. If from these levels to T5 is still 140% that is into this coin. So still looking very good and positive for higher moves. The trend is your friend, as they always say. And once we really get above that T2, it's looking fantastic. And then the final one. Did you want to say there's something, Marius?
No, I'm just stunned. I'm really stunned because remember when we were looking at these coins here 2 weeks ago? Was it even 2 weeks? Week ago, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's playing out enormously, you know, and I've made some real stunning money here. The only thing is, you know, that I should have held a little bit longer, but nonetheless, I made my 20% in some coins. But yes, you look at this thing here, you know, this Origin Protocol.
Yeah, that's been our stellar gainer really for the week.
I want to kick myself. I really want to kick myself that I sold here. You know, this one I thought 55% that's going to do, and then it just went higher. And now it's going to break out again there, you know.
Exactly.
As soon as that resistance is gone there.
So it's
maybe
coming down.
Have you got a belt? Maybe there's a belt that you can sell with the subscription. So you can hit yourself with the belt when you sell too early.
Well, that's a beauty,
fantastic.
because sometimes when you get into profits, rather get to a break-even point, lock your profits in. If it weeks down and you didn't make anything, you at least break even. You protected your capital. It's always about protecting your capital. But when you get these spikes, then you can just move your stop loss up higher, and you ride it to the upside. And you take your profits along the way. It's not necessarily that you're going to have, if you started with $1,000, you're going to have $1,000 left of your total capital that you put in. But you're going to take those profits. And then again, you take those profits and you come back and you put it into a coin like GRT, because we know what's going to be the next move that's going to happen in GRT. People go coin to coin, where they see it's overbought. It's time to move on to the next coin. So that's the beauty of small cap gains. And we've got that range, the range of into 30 days. And what is this? Since we had this, is the price range date in this period, it's literally 12 days so far. So when we get, if you took some profits nicely there at about 154%, even if you had the breakout of the falling wedge around that region, it could have given you 115%. So that's absolutely beautiful. And now we've in this falling wedge, even though that we had a re-entry, that's always very important, because we do educational content on this channel with good options of re-entries. Now we can see it's coming down, but it can continue down. It's not necessarily that it's going to stop at that point. So it can continue down, and the next re-entry, if you find support around the next support region there was a key resistance. So you can see now it's going to form into a key support range. So it can be at 54%. So once we break this trend line above, can come down a little bit, retest, and then we can move up. And then we can possibly form either a double top. We'll see where all the indicators are, where the Ichimokus are, where the fibs are by that point in time. And then we can see, do we have enough strength left into the coin to break the key resistance? Because that's really where we want to get above. Once that starts, then we restart over, new targets, T1 up to T4, and that will bring to all our members into the future that we can get the maximum out of all these coins. So that's really for a recap. And I can share one more as a future play that I really like is crypto.com. We had this coin in the past as well, where we benefited very nicely into the range where we had upsides here of 500% odd. And I do think now you can see all the volume is slightly turning to the upside on the 3-day, and then you can see on the daily it's very minimal. That's really the upside in the volume that we're still going to expect into crypto.com. They've been announced to be FIFA's new main sponsor with the upcoming soccer. And this coin is just going to shoot the lights out. They've got a credit card that they announced as well. So they're continuously performing and bringing new products, proper use case to the crypto world in crypto.com. So these are some sort of targets, and I'm very favorable of this coin to move higher as well. So guys, this is a time to get into the coins. And Mario said, there's no better time really to be alive than in this era. The opportunities may not have been the same that it has been in the past, but we do have time. That where do you get a coin that you can make 100% in 2 weeks? I mean, you're not going to get that in the bank or in any normal assets in the legacy market where you're going to invest. So that's it all from me. Anything you want to close with for the meeting, Marius?
Yeah, the only thing that I really want to say here, guys, is that you have to remember that in the world, every 6 or 7 years, there comes an opportunity to make insane money. Now, I can distinctively remember when I was 12 years old, I'm 50 now, that I saw at that time when I was at school and I heard old people were talking. And when I was 12 years old, I heard of a property boom in South Africa, and houses rose at that time in 3,500 rand for a house in Dispatch, where I lived. I was in the orphanage there, and I wanted to do everything possible just to buy a house, because I was working on the farms, making $100 or 100 rand, I mean, for a weekend. And I said to myself, I have to go and work 35 times. So I can do it so many times, but how can I make more money? And I realized I can't do it. But if I could take advantage of that time, I would have, because all of us are smart here. We know opportunities. Then fast forward now, when I left school, I went to the military. Here in 1987, 88, we had kind of like a dot-com boom. And then in 1999, now it kept on for a long period, 8-9 years, and people made insane money. People started investing in Yahoo. They put $1,000 in, they made 100,000 at that point. And if they invested that in property, they are multi-millionaires. They don't have to work today. Then what happened is in 1999, we had kind of like, the market, let's call it the dot-com bubble. Everything popped. People lost a lot of money. In 2008, there was another pop of the market, just shattered. And if you are now 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, you must realize, guys, that this is the biggest opportunity the world is presenting right in front of you. And if we take advantage of this trend now, it's a macro trend. It's the financial trend. There's money everywhere. All you need to do is to do the effort, work hard for the next year, 2, 3, 4, create multiple streams of income with long-term trade reports. You know where the market's going to go, invest some money there, and then get into the channels and work the business. Take 5,000, invest, make a profit, put it away. Make more the whole time. The wealth of the wicked, and I'm going to say it here again, the Bible says so, the wealth of the wicked is being transferred to the righteous. And this is what you need to understand. There's maybe, this opportunity is the last one ever in humanity to really make insane gains. We don't know the future, but for now, this is the biggest opportunity. Over to you. Thank you, Ines. Great call.
Thank you so much, Marius. And you're 100% right. I've also heard from a good friend of mine, his dad always said there's 3 opportunities in your life that you're going to have the time to make extreme money. And you're right. Crypto came to us. It is an opportunity until the market is going to mature. You never know after your catapult 3, what's going to be happening with the market or the crypto market as a whole. and then it may come down to a point where everything is same as the current legacy markets, where you get your normal 20 or 30%. You don't get the massive downturns because it's a market that's maturing. But in the phase of getting there, and all these regulations and everything's coming in place by the lawmakers and governments, we still have a time to really benefit from these coins and new projects that's coming up, and real people being influencers, and where we can make opportunity from that. So thanks to everyone that joined us here today. Thanks for being on the call. We will have future calls also in April, so keep an eye on that. And if you're new, join our free chat channel if you want to just chat to us and know how to get these products, which products will be most suitable for you, what coupon code you need to make use of. Be on the chat channel. We share some free knowledge on there regarding the crypto market as well, but the fun happens on the inside in small cap big gains. So be blessed, have a good weekend everyone, and we'll chat soon. Keep well. Bye.
There has never been a better or more critical time to become a member. Make the move now to small cap big gains. Your portfolio will thank you for it.